This is Genius Solly from Talameji Domain Academy, and in this video I'm going to be talking about outbound marketing. So outbound marketing. So what is outbound marketing? In my previous video I explained inbound and outbound sale. So when you sell a domain without any marketing effort from you, it is called an inbound sale. So, but when you sell a domain through marketing effort from you, it is called outbound sale. So that marketing effort that leads to that outbound sale is what we call outbound marketing. So outbound marketing has nothing to do with running Facebook ads or posting on social media or anything. So outbound marketing is mainly there are different channels of marketing a domain as far as domain investment is concerned in Nigeria and in Arab countries and some other foreign countries like US, other domainers. But so the most common way of outbounding or marketing a domain is through email. Through email. So that is the most common ways of marketing a domain through email. And there are other medium of marketing a domain like cold calling. So cold calling is when you call your prospect, you call them straight away. So but in Nigeria you don't call with your Nigerian number because Nigerians are known as scams or scammers. So that's our identity. So you try as much as possible to hide that identity of being in Nigeria. Is that a way to okay. You hide that identity of being a Nigerian. You understand? So you hide that identity of being a Nigerian because Nigerians are known as scammers. So to hide that identity, you are going to start from here. Number one is that your email that you want to use to send outbound marketing. You can see mine now. It says Genius Solly. Genius Solly. So it is recommended that you use a name. You understand? You use a name like it can be um Emmanuel Williams at gmail.com. But it is not important that you use, it is just preferred. It is just preferred that you use a name then at gmail.com. But in cases whereby the name you want to use it has been taken, although there are tools, name generator tools that you're able to generate names that have never been registered for email before. But in cases whereby you are getting finding it hard to come up with a name, you can easily use anything. You can use anything. In fact, you can use my father, my mother as gmail.com. Nobody cares because it is not going to be visible unless the person decides to dig further to check what email you are using. So I have Gmails that's perfect business consult, blah blah blah. You understand? But the most important thing that I'm going to see is the sender name. So let me show you what sender name looks like. So when you send an email, how it's going to appear to others. So this is what sender name looks like. So this is what we call sender name. So my own, you can use my own Genius styler. So this is sender name. You understand? This is sender name. So you must ensure, like I said you can. The best thing is that your sender name should be your sender name should be. Don't forget the number one principle, because if I don't number this thing, some people do mistake. So number one principle is that number one is that your Gmail can be anything as gmail.com, but preferably it should be a name. Like for example now it can be Mike Lewis at gmail.com, but in a situation whereby you cannot find or you can Google Gmail name generator. So you can generate, that will help you to generate names that are still available to register your Gmail. So in cases whereby you cannot that will be difficult, you can just use anything. Like I said, you can use my father, my mother as gmail.com. Then, but the most important thing is that your sender name, this is called sender name, must be a name. Some people are fond of using best domain marketer. As I said, that's not a name. Your sender name should be a relatable name, a real name. You can see mine here, Genius Starter. You can see this person's name, Mike Lewis. So this is one of my mentees. So Mike Lewis. So Genius Starter, Mike Lewis. So a real name, you understand? Then it must not be a local name. Don't forget, we are hiding our identity as a Nigerian. So it must not be a local name. It must not be a local name. So it should be an English name. You can convert your local name to an English name, then use it in your email. It can be one or two. It can be only Mike. It can be only Lewis. You understand? It can be only Mike, it can be only Lewis. And you can use two, Mike Lewis. You understand? So take note of that. Number one, your Gmail should be preferably be a name at gmail.com. You can use tools. There are tools to help you to generate names. Google in Gmail name generator tools for Google. Or you can use if that one will be hard, then you can use your name then plus consults, or you can use digitalpreneur, or you can use SEO special, best SEO just find something. Then the sender name, that one is very important. That one must be a name. This is the one, the sender name, that is the one that appears there. That is what they will easily see. You understand? That's what your recipient will easily see. That one must be a name, and it must not be a local name. It must not be Chukwudi, Yakub, Adeola Rewaju. You understand? It must not be a local name. So you can convert your local name to an English name, then use it in your as your sender name. So sender name is what you see as first name and last name when you are creating a Gmail. So that's number one. Then number two is that your subject line. Your subject line. So in this case, we are using domain name losangeleswindowtinting.com as an example. So your domain name, your subject line should be your domain keyword. Your subject line should be your domain keyword, not your domain name. So your domain is losangeleswindowtinting.com. So don't go and put losangeleswindowtinting.com as your subject line. Your subject line, the best subject line you can use is your domain name. You understand? That is the best subject line you can use. So your subject line should be your domain keywords, which are this in this case Los Angeles space window tint space window space tint. You understand? So that should be your subject line. Then after that, in the body of your email, you can see this one said we are offering the following domain for sale. Then it puts the domain. You understand? Don't add www dot, because when you make your domain a clickable link in your email, it makes the whole email vulnerable to going to spam. You understand? But you can start adding this www later. But when you are sending email for the first time to a person, to each person you are sending emails to for the first time, don't add www. Don't make it a clickable link, because even if somebody send email to me out of nowhere, I don't know you before, you now send an email to me, I will not click on that link, because I can click on your link and you wipe out all the money in my account. So because it's very risky, because that link can be a phishing. You understand? It can be a phishing link. So I don't click on link. So most people will not even buy your domain through the link. If you want to buy a domain, they can easily type it in their browser, or they can even search it on GoDaddy. You understand? So your link has no value unless you have reached an agreement with a buyer. I'm going to show you a buyer that reached an agreement with. That is when I now sent the link, because I have reached an agreement. So that's when I now sent the link. You understand? So I'm teaching all this based on my own experience. I've sold around 100 domains through outbound marketing. So this is what has been working for me, and I have many colleagues that they are also doing this exact same practice. You understand? So when I'm saying something, I'm saying it from experience. So then now that some people are also fond of adding HTTPS. You understand? HTTPS and www dot, they are a link. Although domain is also a link, but domain is not directly a link. You understand? When you put www dot or HTTPS to it, that is when it now makes it a link. You understand? That is when it makes it a link. You understand? So your domain should not be a link. Your domain should be domain name. Real domain name starts because you cannot register www dot with, you want to register them, you cannot register www dot or https with a domain. You understand? So do your domain start from that keyword loss, depending on whatever domain you want to register. So anything aside that, there should not be a dot at the back of your domain. That is not, that's the URL. You cannot register dots with your domain. If you want to register www dot now, they are only going to remove the dot. Then they will now put www dot Los Angeles window tint.com as if for a domain, and that will be a useless domain. I have many people that make the mistake that you got to register HTTPS with the domain, with that domain. That is HTTPS Los Angeles dot com. That's nonsense. You understand? So that is when you want to send email, ensure there's no www dot or there's no HTTPS when you are referring. Don't forget, when you are referring from here, you are referring to a domain. When you are referring to a domain, there's no www dot because your domain doesn't start from www dot. But when you now want to send them to check out to pay for your domain, that's when you can now add www dot when you know that they have trusted you. You understand? So that is that about that. So I think we have had how many lessons now? Number one is that your name, your at gmail.com, your Gmail address can be anything, but preferably name at gmail.com. But the most important is what your sender name. Like this Mike Lewis, Gino Styler, and it can be two names, Mike and Lewis, first name and last name, or it can be just one, like Mike or Genius. You understand? So that's number two. Then number three is that your subject line should be your domain keyword. Your subject line should be your domain keyword, not your domain name. Don't go and put losangeleswindowtint.com. That's not the best practice. Of you can escape and say that domain, but that's not the best practice. It should be your domain keyword, Los Angeles space Windows space tint, depending on whatever your domain keyword is. So that's number three. Then number four is that you should not add www dot when you're referring to a domain, because your domain does not start from www dot. If you want to register, if you are arguing that no, www dot losangeleswindowtint.com can also be a domain. Now go and copy that www dot losangeleswindowtint.com and go and put it in the register that you want to register it. You see that they will register the www dot with your domain, and that will become useless because www.losangeleswindowtint.com is different from losangeleswindowtint.com. So don't make that mistake, and don't put HTTPS. For people are fond of putting HTTPS. Let me repeat these three times. Don't put www dot. Don't put HTTPS. Don't put www dot. Don't put HTTPS. Don't put www dot. Don't put HTTPS. Your domain starts from the domain keyword.com. You understand? So that is that about that. Then always try as much as possible to put your recipient's name. It is important. I know some people find it hard to do that, but always try as much as possible to put your recipient's name. That is to gain their trust. That is one of the easiest way to gain trust through email marketing. So to gain their trust, what else? Then you can copy this kind of signature, or you can just leave this part aside. Just put your home regards and your name. So that is that about that. So like I said, let me show you a situation where I did this practically with a prospect. So in this is a practical one. So you can see here, you can see my sender email, my sender name. So Genius Styler. Then I like adding picture. I don't put your picture whereby they easily know. Don't forget you need to hide your identity as a Nigerian. But you can add any picture like maybe graphics. It can be a picture of a car, a luxurious car, just something to keep your profile weight. Don't keep it dry. Something just entice to make the look beautiful to watch. So that's that. Then I got the response how much. So I got the response how much. I can see the domain best meso telioma. So there are two important factors in saying the domain. One is that you must have a quality domain. The domain you are selling must be a quality domain. Then you must know your marketing very well. So you must know your market very well. And don't forget, once you have registered your domain, you don't need to spend any extra money again. Just get your prospect email, send email to your prospect. You understand? And if God wants to bless you, you can get your domain sold as quick as possible. So I got how much and was able to seal the deal. Let me show you the payment confirmation. So after the negotiation, So this was the payment confirmation from after uh, negotiating with the prospect. So outdoor marketing is very interesting, and it can be somehow difficult. So it will be interesting if, for me personally, I've tried two ways of outdoor marketing. The one is that um, by um, uh, by sending emails blindly. So you send emails blindly when you don't even know the people you are sending emails to. So number one is that you try to make it possible to know that you're not just sending email to anybody, you are sending email to the person that's going to buy your domain, the person that's most likely to buy your domain. So when you have researched your prospect and say that okay, this person is should be able to buy this domain, there's going to be something interesting. You know, you are curious. This person, will this person buy my domain? You know, you are curious. So it's going to be something interesting for you. You understand? So you want to send email, you put I John, maybe the person's name is John. You understand? It's going to be something interesting. You understand? They are anticipating the response. You understand? But then don't forget, I once dropped a video on how to track your email. So you track your email, the person checked the email, you got the notification that this person already your email, you are excited. You understand? That's kind of interesting. You understand? But when you now send an email to somebody that you don't even know, is this person, you don't even know that person, you don't know if that person is a prospect or not. You just send that. Some people do it, they send email blindly. You understand? I've also tried it. You understand? So you send email blindly, just anybody. You understand that you feel you just send email, you got those emails blindly, you just sent the emails to send to anybody that you should there should be somebody among them that be interested. You understand? So that's one is much more boring. It's much more boring and more let me just use boring. It's much more boring. And for me personally, I don't get much results with that. I don't get much results. So I prefer knowing who my possible buyers are, and when I do this, I do get quite good responses, and I love the kind of the way we relate. You understand? So um, that is that about that. So may God bless our handwork and make it easy for us. Don't forget to subscribe.